Coming up on Fox 44, flat tires. Why experts say that could be the reason your wallet is getting drained. Also, the Save Chick-fil-A bill passes. How do Central Texans feel about it?
Live from Waco, Temple, and Killeen. Your news now. This is Fox 44 News at 9.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm Robert Burns.
And I'm Leslie Rangel. The Texas House has passed a controversial Save Chick-fil-A bill, it's called. Senate Bill 1978 prevents the government from taking negative actions against individuals or businesses based on membership, support, or donations to religious groups.
Fox 44's Renee Summerhour live in the control room tonight with how community members are feeling about this. A second Waco ISD board member this week has now announced they're stepping down. School board trustees say Larry Perez is leaving because of health concerns. Perez is the longest serving Hispanic trustee in the district's history. He was elected back in 2002 and his current term ends next year. The announcement comes just 2 days after school board president Pat Atkins resigned. Tomorrow the school board will have to meet and decide how to fill both positions. The McLennan County grand jury indicting the man accused of robbing a Hewitt bank and shooting a police officer, Dallas Bohannon. He faces several charges. Investigators say he shot police officer Clint Brandon while trying to run away from the Point West Bank. This happened last February. Officers later did catch Bohannon after his car crashed. There was a possibility that the officer Brandon could face charges because he shot at the suspect, but his name was not on the indictment list. LaBelle County revelers will be able to buy fireworks this Memorial Day weekend as the county commissioner approved a fireworks distributor's request to sell over the weekend. This is the first year the county will be allowed fireworks sales since the Texas legislature approved the selling of fireworks on Cinco de Mayo, Texas Independence Day, and Memorial Day. The Bell County Fire Marshal began inspecting vendors today. So far, only 2 people have been called to be inspected.
Everyone needs to.
Experts say the rainy month that we have just had makes for pretty favorable conditions to sell fireworks in, and so far there are 2 sellers on FM 439 and 317. La Vega celebrating another championship tonight, and those are the sirens of celebration. This time, the track and field team clinching the state championship as the parade you see here was held in their honor as hundreds showed up. Now, the parade was also a celebration for former Vega alum and current Baylor Bear, Juicy Landrum. Landrum recently winning the national championship with the Lady Bears, in case you forgot.
And tonight we're focusing on why tire pressure is important for your car and for your wallet.
That one especially. Fox 44's Kendall Green joining us live in Waco tonight after being on the road all day. All right, good information to have there. I'm going to have to check mine tomorrow
I know.
morning now.
I just thought about that.
All right, coming up, crews training in the Leon River. Back to you. All right, still to come, why a Houston woman says she was allegedly starving a baby tiger in a makeshift cage.
News at 9.
Well, today, firefighters across Central Texas brushing up on a couple of skills for swift water rescue training over in Belton's Leon River. Objectives included rescuing defensive swimmers, using rescue throw bags, and also making sure the boats are operational. Firefighters have to be physically prepared for any unexpected challenges, and experts say this is the best time to conduct all these trainings because of the recent heavy rainfall we've seen that's caused the river and lake levels to rise. Experts say that if you are trying to go kayaking or tubing in the river, make sure you take extra precautions because of the rough waters. Well, the Texas Senate unanimously approving a bill to expand the state's medical cannabis program. And right now, only patients with intractable epilepsy can access low THC medical cannabis. The bill adds that more conditions that would qualify include autism, seizure disorders, and also multiple sclerosis. Patients with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and Huntington's disease could also access the treatment. Some groups hope other conditions can be added in future legislative sessions. Under the bill, the Texas Department of Public Safety still regulates and oversees the program. A Houston woman facing charges after police say she abandoned a caged tiger inside of a vacant home. You might remember this story. Brittany Garza, seen in the video here wearing a yellow shirt and black pants, was in a Houston courtroom on those animal cruelty charges. Officials accused the 24-year-old of not providing the tiger that she named Raja with any food, water, or care, even much shelter room. If you can see there, the 1-year-old animal was found 3 months ago in the garage of a Southwest Houston home. Garza said she had taken care of Raja since he was a cub. She claims he was inside of her friend's home waiting to be transferred to a sanctuary in College Station. Well, it was supposed to be a meeting about infrastructure, ended up being a meeting about impeachment. Today, the president walked out of a follow-up meeting with congressional Democrats that was supposed to be about how to pay for $2 trillion worth of infrastructure. Bree Jackson reports on the wild morning at the White House.
Legislation now known as the Save Chick-fil-A bill.
Fox 44's Renee Summerhour live in the control room once more with more on the controversial bill.
Yeah, big reminder today that this is Texas. We can never have a happy medium. It's one extreme or the other.
It goes from kind of a wet spring and kind of a cool wet spring to just hot and humid weather.
Spring? It doesn't feel like spring stuck around that long either, though.
No, and this whole week in the 70s.
I mean, great for us because we've got that nice consistent number, the consistent temperatures. At least you know to break out the sunscreen. Our friends in Oklahoma, they are not as lucky.
No, not at all.
Now, they're dealing with a lot of flooding, especially for what they saw this week. Authorities in Oklahoma, they are advising people who live near rivers to evacuate. Look at that house. It's sitting on the edge of the land right there. Now,
I can't even take that in.
No.
Oh my gosh.
This is aerial footage from earlier today. Those homes are on the edge of the river and they're at risk of being washed away, falling right into the water, parts of those homes. Now, entire communities are underwater in some spots.
Watch this one.
And this one right here is going to start moving a little bit.
Yes, I've seen this one circulating on social media. And really, it's just the power of water. You got to respect water.
We're talking as much as 5 inches of rain falling this week and just not ready for all of that at one spot. Authorities are performing more than a dozen water rescues statewide so far because of all this wacky weather. And Baylor baseball opening their Big 12 tournament title defense today. Matt Roberts has highlights from the Bears in Bricktown later on in Fox 44 Sports. Tonight in your Consumer Report, concerns over the safety of ride-sharing trips has Lyft now making new safety protocols like adding an in-app panic button for riders who have to call 911. Lyft is also going to include an enlarged version of the driver's license plate on the car that will be right in the app. So Lyft says this is being done to prevent passengers from getting into the wrong vehicles. The company also is offering sexual harassment prevention training for its drivers. A consumer activist organization says nearly 2/3 of sunscreens probably don't do the jobs and are likely unsafe. The Environmental Working Group says that those sunscreens either don't meet FDA standards for UVA protection or they contain oxybenzone, a chemical linked to hormone changes in men and shorter pregnancies for women. Its 2019 Sunscreens Guide looked into more than 1,300 products on the market.
Wins the race, and this couldn't ring truer for the story we have after the break.
Pretty good looking Turtle Club. Meanwhile, the Bosqueville Bulldogs faced a tall task in their regional semifinals. Matt Roberts has got what you need to know after the break.
Rolled up his windows. So they probably went in, tried it, and found the car seats were too hard or too soft.
One was just right.
Exactly. They didn't find the one just right.
I think one was even behind the steering wheel if you look at those pictures one more time.
I'm sure Mom was keeping a close eye on it.
No one was getting close to that.
All right, Mike, we've got, well, a whole lot of nothing going on. A lot of hot.
Yeah, and just in time here for the weekend. I know the